somebody would give him money and maybe not a 1099 to go with it.
I know he's a hard worker. He will work 7 days a week. He was able to take the kids out when he had them.
He's earning like a little bit above minimum wage, and he's the owner, right?
And this matters before the court on the Super Modification of Child Support and motion to confirm arrears.
As the court's aware, we had a hearing back on May 8th of 2025 where this court finalized all the issues except for the current support. And the reason that the current support was still an issue was because there was some documentation that was entered. It was a tax returns for 2023 and 2024, which showed Mr. Thompson had income of like $108,000, but ultimately after the deductions, it went down to like $15,000. So this court requested that either the accountant, the person that helped him do the tax preparation, appear, or they provide the documents to this court so that they can be reviewed, right? So we were reset to May 22nd. On May 22nd, Mr. Thompson still had not provided those documentations, and then it was reset to today. My understanding is, not to speak for Ms. Cusack, but Ms. Cusack has been able to reach out to the tax person that prepared his documents. However, based on the information that was provided to me, I'm not so sure, even if she popped on, whether she would be beneficial or not at this point, and whether or not she would have everything that she needs. The state's position is that Mr. Thompson has had plenty of time to provide these documentations. I'd be happy to question Mr. Thompson about what he did to try to get either the tax preparer or the documents provided here. But my understanding, Judge, is that he didn't request those documents be submitted until this week, when again, it was reset for May 22nd. He's had lots of times. So the state's asking for final order. But if the court decides to give him an opportunity to have that person appear and provide it, then the state's asking that we at least make the last order further second temporary order, or second further temporary order, to get everything finalized. And then the only issue would be the current support. But the state's position is we're asking for the support to be finalized per the initial temporary order, Judge, which the parties agreed to. That was his income at that time. And that's been a year ago. That was back in July of 2024. So this case has been pending already for a year. So we are asking for a final today.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Kelly. Ms. Cusack.
Judge, I also would like to see this finalized, and I'd like to figure out, you know, what the guideline amount of child support should be. I have provided, and I don't know if I saw you with some papers. I don't know if Ms. Molina printed a tax return that I just sent maybe 10 minutes ago. But there is a tax return for, and we can go over this in a little bit. There's a tax return from 2024 that I'm looking at. And so there are, in my opinion, as a partially self-employed person, you know, the important parts of what are in these tax returns, if you're self-employed, are the 1099s coming in, first of all. And when I say 1099s coming in, the evidence will show that there are 4 1099s coming in. They contribute to that 108,000 gross income. And I don't know if there are any other amounts that were not 1099 and therefore maybe not claimed. I don't know. And then on the Schedule C, it'll show the amount of contract labor. So Mr. Thompson does contracting like construction work. So I'm sure he does have, you know, the expenses are labor, you know, and materials, and all of that's on a 1099. But if you look at that, it seems as if, as Ms. Thompson, Ms. Gonzalez Taylor said, that he makes just below $16,000 after those expenses are taken out. I don't see how he would have a place to live or, you know, car to drive if that were the case. So I'm not sure where the difference is. And so I spoke to the accountant just today. I did not have a call or any information about her before. But I received that from Mr. Thompson today, and I just called her when we were in the breakout room, And I gave her the Zoom code. Granted, she wasn't expecting to take part in this today, but it appears, and I asked her if she had the Zoom app on her phone, and she did. So what I thought maybe she would be helpful for is to explain what's on this tax return. But she's not here. So I'm asking for guideline support, but I'm not sure what we can do to make that any clearer for the court than what we already have.
All right, everybody, at this time, let's go ahead and get some testimony from the parties. Judge used to kind of do this stuff for a living, but I haven't gone in delved into a tax return in a while. So I have not, since these were not in evidence, I had not an opportunity to look at them and formulate any type of opinion and even if, since I just got the day that the accountant showed up, I would probably want to continue this for the opportunity to review the taxes if I had any questions also. But anyway, let's see what we got with the parties, and I know what Ms. Taylor is asking for, and let's see. Again, let's get some testimony, and we'll see what Mr. Thompson wants to do as far as his final in his closing statement, and what Ms. Franklin wants to do in her closing statement. So, if you I don't anticipate that either witnesses will be on the witness stand long. So let's go ahead and get them under oath, and let's see what we got. So at this time, Ms. Franklin, again, please unmute yourself and turn on your video and raise your right hand. Mr. Thompson, I see you already. As soon as Mr. Frank, okay, yeah, everybody's there. Do both of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. You both can put your hands down, and I'll go ahead and allow the state to call you as witnesses. Ms. Gonzalez Taylor, you can call your first witness, please. And y'all can turn off your video if you want to help with the bandwidth, but I'll let the state proceed. Thank you.
Judge, could I confirm that Ms. Cusack sent you a copy of the 2024 tax return already?
I got both of them.
Okay, you got both of them. I thought those had been introduced in the past, but they have not.
They may have been, but we don't keep the exhibits once they, otherwise the file,
Okay.
break. So yeah.
I think they had been introduced, but
Okay,
then
I can check the docket sheet, see if they have, but if not, we'll look at it, introduce them today. Okay.
okay. State will call the only issue is current support, right, Judge?
Right.
We're in agreement.
That's it.
Okay. Then state will call Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson, you provided the
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, state your full name for the record, sir.
Ron Thompson.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, you previously provided your tax returns information for 2024 and 2023. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not sure that they were ever provided to Ms. Franklin, though, Judge. But the state would offer we'll offer it as State's Exhibit 1, his tax return for the 2024. If you have that, Judge.
That's I do. I've got it right here. I'm marking it. All right.
All right. Mr. Thompson, what is it that you have a business, is that right?
All right, really. All right. Well,
Yes, ma'am.
are you asking the court to take these in evidence at this time?
Yes, I'm sorry, Judge. Yes, the state would offer State's Exhibit as number 1, which would be the tax return information that was provided by Mr. Thompson for the year 2024.
I have no objection, Judge.
All right. I'm sorry, Ms. Franklin, any objection to State's 1 coming in evidence?
No.
All right.
Justin.
State's 1's admitted. You may proceed.
Now, Mr. Thompson, we've had hearings before where we've discussed your tax return, have we not?
Yes, ma'am.
And you own a business. What is the name of your business?
Thompson Construction.
And you do contract work and get paid by 1099s?
Yes, ma'am.
In State's Exhibit 1, let me, Judge, if I could just share the screen in a second. Let me find that page. Can you see that, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I can see it.
All right. So it looks like in 2024, you provided some 1099s that were listed here. Did you work for Joel Duran Homes? Were you contracted out by them in 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And it shows that you earned or you were paid. Is that $78,521?
Yes, ma'am.
And then did you also work for Renegade, B Plumbing? And then it looks like there was 2,500 that year of contract work.
Yes.
And then also BFF Construction for 13,288. Is that what you received from them?
Yes, ma'am.
And then there was Resort Home Builders LLC with 13,700. Did you receive that from
Yes,
them?
ma'am.
Okay, so
Ma'am.
and then that shows your income to have been $108,009. Do you see the total there, the subtotal?
Yes, ma'am.
But when you come to your total income, the next line, it shows that you earned $15,880. Is that what this is reflecting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have employees? I'm gonna stop sharing, Judge. Do you have
Right.
employees, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I do.
Do you provide them 1099s as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how much you paid your employees, or do you know what that would be on your tax return information? Let's see.
If I can jump in,
Oh.
Judge, it's on the Schedule C.
Let me get to that
It's
page.
page 8 on the PDF version.
Contract labor. Let me share that screen. Hold on. Judge, I'm going to share my screen again.
You may.
Let me make this. All right. So this is profit or loss from business, Schedule C. Let's just go through this. It says you did advertising for 2,400. Do you own cars and trucks for this business?
Yeah.
How many trucks did you own back in 2024?
2.
How many do you own now?
2.
Are they the same ones?
Yes.
And then it says contract labor, $64,935. Is this contract labor? Do you know what this means here? This contract labor, $64,935?
That's the 1099 of the employees.
Let me see if any of your 1099s are attached. I'm just going to scroll. How many employees did you have?
I'm not sure.
And how many employees do you have now?
I got, one. I would say one. I got my nephew, just one.
So based on this, we can't tell how much you pay. Like, I mean, how many employees you had and what their income was at that time? Is you still there, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, I'm here.
So I don't know that there's any documentation here that would show how much your employees were paid each for that year. Do you recall any of that, Mr. Thompson?
Recall any of,
Right, any attachments that you have? I don't see any. I'm scrolling through here. Do you see anything?
no.
All right. So I'm gonna stop sharing again. Now we're in 2025. What is your current monthly income for 2025? What do you think you're averaging?
About 3,000 a month.
And is that your take? Is that your take home, Mr. Thompson? 3,000?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are you paying your employees? You said you have one employee. What are you paying him?
I got one employee. I'm paying $20 an hour.
Is $20 an hour? How many hours does that employee work?
Well, it all depends how much hours we work daily. On a 40 week is $800.
$800 is you're paying your employee $800 weekly?
That's if we work. If we work 4 weeks.
So $800 a week times 52, that would put your employee earning 3,466 on the high end. Does that sound about right, Mr. Thompson?
3,200. 16 and 16, 32.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you because you're moving some. So can you talk to the camera?
I said 16 and 16 is 32.
All right.
4 weeks.
Right. I did $20 times 40-hour weeks. Well, you said 800. So I did 800 times 52 weeks divided by 12. That puts them at about $3,466 a month. That's on the high end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you going to make more than your employees usually?
Yeah.
Okay. Now back in when the temporary order started, we found that your income was $6,000 at that time. Back when this was signed, we were in court on, let me see, when was this signed? Back in December of 2024. That's when the judge signed. Oh, that's the further temporary orders. Judge, could I have a minute so I can pull up the other one?
No problem.
Let me see. All right, Mr. Thompson, it looks like we had an agreement on June 11th of 2024 where you agreed at that time that you were earning $6,000 gross income. What has changed between then and now?
Work has slowed down. Ain't nobody building no house. Interest rate is high.
Is it fair to what do you believe your high good month is right now? Because if you're making at least your employee at a high month is making 3,400, what would you make on a good month? 5,000, 4,500?
Maybe around 45.
4,500?
Mm-hmm.
Pass the witness.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Cusack, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Thompson, so this income, these 1099s that are on page 19 of the PDF, which is in a summary, there were 4 1099s, and those are the names that Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor went over with you, including Reniger Plumbing and those other 3 names.
Yep.
Those 3 1099s together created that $108,000 gross. What other income do you have?
I don't have no other income.
Does like someone's grandma hire you to fix her cabinets? Do you have people who pay you to put in a deck or stairs or whatever? And do you have people who hire you who are not businesses? Because this income, these are just from businesses who've given you 1099.
Yes, and that's business. That's my income yearly.
Okay. You don't have any other paid income. You haven't done any construction from anyone else who just calls you and says, hey, I'll pay you $10,000 to put this deck in or anything.
No, I don't. I wish I did. No, I don't, ma'am.
Okay. And so you don't have the 1099s showing the 64,000, because if you did have those, you know, somebody asking you to put a $10,000 deck in, or, you know, a staircase or cabinets or whatever, you would have used these contract workers that you pay to do that job, right?
Yeah.
And then when you pay them, that would show up on these 1099s. So your 1099s, even if you don't have a 1099 coming in, you would definitely have a 1099 going out for that amount of how much you paid someone, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The person I spoke to earlier, you just gave me her name and her phone number today. Her name is Tammy Jones, correct?
Yes.
And does she have an office downtown, Helene?
Yes.
Okay. So she has a tax prep office or something,
Yes, ma'am.
or accounting or something like that. So she's a professional. She's not like a friend who did your taxes for you, right?
No, she professional.
And so when she prepared these, she did those based upon, you probably set up an appointment with her or something to drop off things to drop off
Yes.
records. And then the records
yes.
you gave her were that your only income were those 4 1099s.
Yes, ma'am.
How much, so on your budget on where you live, how much do you rent or do you own your house?
I rent
How much is your rent right now?
$1,200.
How much do you have payments on those cars, those 2 vehicles, the business vehicles?
I just have payments on one of them.
Okay. How much is that payment?
800.
Okay. How much are your bills just in general? I don't want to go through all the monthly budget, but like, you know, electricity and all those different things. How much are your bills typically per month?
Maybe around 2,800.
Do you have any other vehicles other than that $800 payment that you said on a work vehicle? So like your work vehicle is the one that you drive around to go get groceries or do whatever, right?
Yes, I got 2 work vehicles.
Okay. But the one that you have the payment on.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cusack, real quick, sir, what year, what kind of, what make of vehicles and what years are they, please?
I got a 2007 Chevy Silverado and a 2018 GMC.
GMC what?
GMC Sierra.
Sierra, okay. Silverado and yeah, really the same vehicle, just they're all both General Motors. Yeah, Sierra and Silverado. Got it. Thank you. And that's a 2017?
2018 and a
18.
2007.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. You may proceed.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Are there any other expenses that you have other than these bills?
I got another kid. That's about it.
And do you pay support for that child?
Yeah.
Okay, how much is your court order child support?
Oh, I don't have court order, but we have an agreement of $400 a month.
The 2,800 that you said that you think your bills kind of total up. So your rent is 12. Your payment on your truck is 8, so that's 2,000. So the 800 are other bills like electricity, all those things, right?
Electricity, water, and
Okay.
food.
So
Car insurance.
if we take the 15,880 and we divide by 12 months, that's only 1,300. It's $1,323. So that's not anywhere near the 3,000 that you say that you make. How did, like, are there other sources of income that you live off of? Do you have help with that? Because that just would not have, that's only $100 more than your rent.
There's no other income, anything coming in. The lady prepared the taxes. I guess she know how to get the write-offs, and that's possibly what she did. I don't do taxes, but what I gave her is a 1099. I work for these people yearly. I work for them all year long, and that's my income. Like I said, people prepare taxes. They know how to get you write-offs and stuff for your businesses and stuff like that. So that's where the income come or whatever I made for the year.
Okay, Mr. Cusack, you can move on. I'm gonna have to go over this also, but I got a certain list of things that when I look at the income tax return, I don't include as part of the,
Yeah.
there's certain criteria. I know, so.
Okay.
I know how the tax thing works, but there's certain ones
Right.
So you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. So, Mr. Thompson, bottom line, regardless of what's on that piece of paper, you're saying that you make, at least $3,000 a month is what you would estimate, that you're able to pay bills out of.
Well,
I
that's
thought you
possibly
said four. I thought you said four. I'm sorry. Did I get that
Well,
wrong?
He
yeah,
said
she
3 and then
raised
up
it
to
at a
48.
45 on a good. 40,
Okay.
45 on a good. But that's like I say, I was making good money when she gave y'all that 1099. It said what, $170 something thousand, right?
The
That's what it said.
1099s were 108,000.
No. I'm asking about the 1099 that Miss Franklin presented to the court when she first came to y'all was 178,000.
That wasn't for
I think
last year. Okay, sir, that wasn't the last year, was it?
No, that wasn't last year. That
I
was
don't-
2021.
Okay, well, that's 3 years ago. So we're looking at the last 2 years, sir. So that's not before me at
Yeah,
this
that's
point.
I know. That's what I'm trying to let her know, because that's what it was priced off of too. Me, the temporary order was based off of, I was giving her $300 a week. So that's where that came from.
Okay, well, again, sir,
But like I said,
okay, stop, sir, stop. See, right now, sir, you're making a closing argument right now, and right now you're just a witness. And at the end of this, you'll be able to make that closing statement or closing argument. But right now, I don't want to get into closing arguments. We still, Ms. Cusack still is the attorney asking questions. And as soon as she gets through with that, we'll go ahead and get some testimony from Ms. Franklin, and then we'll let you make your closing statement, sir. Thank you.
okay.
Judge, I really don't. I think we're kind of going in circles on the finances. So I pass the witness.
All right. Okay, Ms. Taylor, anything on redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, sir. I'll be back in just a moment. Call your next witness, call your next witness, Ms. Taylor. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. State will call Miss Brandy Franklin.
All right, Ms. Franklin, still state your full name for the record, ma'am.
Brandy Franklin.
Ms. Franklin, do you have any information as to what Mr. Thompson is doing currently for income, other than what he's testified to?
No, not too much, no.
And in 2024, did you have any information as to what Mr. Thompson did back in 2024?
No.
Now, when we were here and temporary orders were initially done, we found that Mr. Thompson's gross income at that time was $6,000. Do you recall, just the agreement and the temporary orders at that time?
In the order, yes.
Okay. Now, what are you asking the court to do today? Are you asking the court to finalize this order or not?
I'm like, I guess. Because it's kind of been going on for a really long time. I feel like it's a divorce. So if the paperwork is not in there, I don't know what else to do. I feel like I'm just fighting air. So I don't know.
Pass the witness.
All right. Thank you very much. Your witness, Ms. Cusack.
Thank you, Judge. Obviously, Ms. Franklin, you're not going to be able to have much information about the finances of his, business, or whether these are accurate numbers or not. Do you have any? When's the last time you and he were together where he was working and you were able to see like money coming in? Like, because you were, well, first of all, have you guys been members of the same household?
Not in years and years, but yes.
At one point, what was the last time y'all lived together?
Ooh, oh my gosh, six years ago?
Okay. At that time, was he doing this same job?
Yes.
So you heard me ask him about 1099 income versus, putting in a staircase for Granny, or, whatever, that kind of stuff. If there were jobs back then that he did where somebody would give him money and maybe not a 1099 to go with it?
I can't tell you that I know if somebody was giving him a 1099. I know he's a hard worker. He will work 7 days a week. So other than that, I can't really tell you. Okay.
Do you know anything else about like income where you see what he has and you think, how is that supported off of this? Like, are there different, does he have, do you agree that he has those 2 cars that he said?
Yeah.
Okay. And you, do you agree that probably his house is probably 1,200 in rent?
I can see that.
Okay. Can you think of anything else that shows that, like, how is he able to afford this if he's only making this amount of money?
I,
I'm asking you to prove a negative. I understand that. But you don't have anything else to add to that. Is that correct?
no, cause I don't be around him. I don't talk to him. I don't know anything. He was able to take the kids out when he
Yeah.
had them. I know he got his nephews working with him, but that's about it. That's all I know.
Okay. So you're asking the court for a fair amount of child support, right?
Yes.
Okay. I pass the witness, Judge.
All right, anything on redirect, Ms. Gonzalez-Shelley?
No, Your Honor, and state would rest.
All right, then, I'll go ahead and now I'll let the state and the Atlanta make a closing argument, and then I'll go to you, Mr. Thompson, and then I'll go to Ms. Franklin. Thank you. So if y'all would like to have one. So at this time, I'm gonna start with the, tell you what, since the state is the state, I'll go ahead and start with you, Ms. Cusack, and then go to the state, because they get they're the lawyer that gets to make the last statement. So you may proceed, Ms. Cusack. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. What I personally, I think probably is the situation here is that there's probably some non-included income. I'm not suggesting that he's hiding anything. I just know as a self-employed person who has 1099s coming in, I know that I have, when I do my taxes, I've got income that comes into my bank account, and some of that is a 1099. So, for example, when I put in a fee voucher with you, Judge, I get a 1099 from Bell County at the end of the year saying this is how much we have paid you for these cases where you're appointed through the county. So I get those. The thing is, I've already included those by, in my income, because I put all of that along with, my retained cases. So if I get a retainer on a divorce case, that goes into my IOLTA, and of course gets transferred to my operating account. Whatever lands in my operating account, I show that income. Of course, I've got a kind of a higher burden to show those things because I've got to account for other people's money, versus doing contract work. But I can tell you that when I get a 1099 from Bell County, that's already included in that income. Because I have all of these other, avenues coming in as well. Not all of them, but, I've got other income coming in as well. I suspect that that's the difference. And then the money going out, the $64,000 for contract labor, I think probably that has to do with exactly how much he paid those people going out. But of course, if they're doing 7 jobs, 3 of them are, small jobs, and then 4 of them are with these 4 1099 non-employment compensation income. I think that's the difference. And I don't know that we're going to have an avenue to prove that. For me, it would have been through my bank accounts, because like I said, that money has to go, as an attorney, has to go into IOLTA for a retained case and then gets transferred over. So I would not be able to just underreport, but when you have someone who just gets a check for the $4,000 to, put in a deck or something like that, they could just cash that check. And then it's not included in income. And then there's no 1099 because grandma's not writing a 1099 on that $4,000 deck that she paid for. I suspect that that's what it is, but because I don't know anyone who hustles for a job and only has document income on paper 100% on those 4 1099s. So that's what I suspect. I'm not quite sure how to reconcile that. I'm not going to be able to prove those amounts. We don't have anything that we can multiply or divide by or carry the 2 to create something else. I just would like to see something fair. At minimum, I think, he's admitted the $3,000 to $4,500. I don't think the taxes are going to bring anything to this, because if we look at that 2024 tax return, he makes $1,323 per month. And he's already said that he makes more than that. So at minimum, I think it should be the amount that he admitted to and just estimating. But I have no other way, and I really don't think this tax preparer is going to have anything else, because I think he showed up with the tax forms and said, "Can you please do my taxes?" And so I think that she probably has done, a fair job doing that with those forms. I just think there are probably things that did not get presented.
Can I say something?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Okay.
You will in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, you're up next after Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And so, but there are 3 girls who need income is the bottom line. So, I'll just leave it with that. I'm just asking for guideline support. A guideline of what, I don't know.
All right, thank you. Ms.
Thank you.
Gonzalez-Taylor.
Yes, Judge. The state is asking again for a final order today. And just bring it to the court's attention that we initially started this order with Mr. Thompson agreeing that he was earning $6,000. So he has the earning potential, at least that we know of, to earn $6,000 a monthly gross. The problem in this case is that Mr. Thompson has provided his income tax returns, but there's nothing to show what all these deductions are, because he starts the business with $108,000, and then out of all that money, he ends up with $16,000. And as Ms. Cusack did during the questioning, it ultimately, based on that, he's earning like a little bit above minimum wage, and he's the owner, right? And he testified to all these expenses that he has, which we know were at least $2,500 based on his testimony. So he wouldn't even be able to pay his own monthly expenses if it was based solely on the income tax return that was provided. So Mr. Thompson testified that on a good week, his employees would earn at least $800. So just going the high end, Judge, for the employees, they would earn about, their gross monthly income would be $3,466. Now, when Mr. Thompson was questioned about what is a good week for him currently, he said about 4,500. 4,500 is on a good week, right? On a good month. And based on that, I did the calculations just to give the court some parameters to consider. It would put his at 4,500, leaving the cash medical support at $150, 3 kids before the court, 1 other child that he's paying support for, and doing the self-employed. Child support would come out to $926. That's on a good month for Mr. Thompson. The state's position is that that should be the lowest amount that this court should consider, simply because, again, he didn't provide any documentation to support what all these deductions are. There's a lot of deductions in his tax return. He was given a lot of opportunity to provide that. So the state's first position is that it should stay at the higher income, but if the court considers reducing it, then it should reduce it down to the 926 and keep him at least to the higher amount that he testified to.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor. All right, Ms. Franklin, you can make a closing statement or a closing argument, however you want to make it, ma'am. Thank you.
Can I?
You get to go last, Mr. Thompson. We do this in order in court, okay? You get to go last. Now I say Ms. Franklin's okay, and you're the last. Yeah, you get to say that. You get to have the last word, sir. So, Ms. Franklin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you want us to? What's your statement, ma'am?
I was trying to go back for the taxes. With those taxes, it's kind of tricky, but the 1099s are just what it is. You can't move or maneuver anything around. That Schedule C, you could kind of finagle.
Yes, sir.
And so you don't always have to add everything, but I just want to do what's fair and what's right for these kids. And I hate feeling like I'm just, saying stuff that's trying to go against him, but I'm not. I know he got his nephews working for him. And
I'm sorry, nephew or nephews? I'm sorry. I think
nephew.
Okay, just one. Okay, just want to make sure.
It's 2.
It's two? Okay.
It's twins. And I just want them to do what's right by these kids. I own a tax business. And so I don't want to see his information, but I know that stuff could be finagled.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just want to do what's right. That's it. That's all. I'm tired of this.
All right. Okay, ma'am. That's an argument. All right, Mr. Thompson, your turn, sir. Closing statement, closing
Okay.
argument.
I would just like to know what Miss Brandy wants to make her comfortable and to take care of them kids. How much does she want?
Well, again, ma'am, I'll call her back in a moment. If she has a dollar figure, sir, I'll have her give that as a statement. Okay. Anything else you would like to say as a closing, sir?
No, everything is fine, sir. Like I said, she brought me here, so I just want to know, what is it that you want? How much do you want? Can we negotiate on that and just set a price and let's work from there?
Okay, well, again, sir, this is not a negotiation right now. This is closing argument, and I get to make the final decision how I want to try to handle this. Anyway, anything you said? There's nothing else, correct, sir?
No, that's fine, sir.
All right, Ms. Franklin, if you're asking for a specific amount, how much will you be asking for, ma'am?
My apologies. We agreed upon at the beginning of all this, the $1,300 for the temporary, and that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine if that's what we got to stick with.
All right then. All right, folks, the judge now gets to take this one under advisement. Like I say, I got to delve into this, and ma'am, I'm well aware how this stuff works. The judge is not bragging, but I got an MBA in finance. All my law school was I'm surprised I'm sitting here as a family law judge because I took every tax course there was in law school. That was going to be my profession. My law review article I wrote for a law review in law school was on the United States tax code. Okay, yeah, I got it. I know. I ran the tax department at the law school, doing all income tax returns, all 3 years. And the final year, I was the head of I was the person overall. There was a head of everything overall. So yeah, I'm a tax guy. I just don't like to. I haven't been practicing, and I can get into it. But I will go over the information. I see what you requested. I'll try to see what was fair, and I'll see what fair, and I'll try to be fair to both of y'all. And but again, this is just a modification case. The other order, the SAPS order, is still in full enforcement effect. And I always hate to take things under advisement, because that means I got to bring it back and get it taken care of. But Ms. Cusack, when's the next time? Are you in? I know the state's gone the week after next. Do you have any hearings? Are you on any of our hearing schedules for next week, ma'am?
Let's see. I'm not on Thursday. I had some other stuff scheduled for Thursday, but
okay.
I am next week. I have special settings with you on Wednesday, but that's your special setting.
Okay. What time is the special setting I have with you?
The special setting I have two. One is at, I think, maybe 9:15. And then the other one is 1:30.
And let me pull those up, because I can move this code over there to make the ruling on this right before your next hearing. But let me bring up Zoom.
What date was that, Judge? I'm sorry.
You said the 23rd?
I'm available too.
All right, then. So you got, okay, the 9:15 one is just a quick one, because that's already a quick one. So I only have that for 15 minutes. Then I got a regular one after that. But you have the 1:30 one also?
I have the 1:30 one, yes, sir. The one that I have at 9:15, I don't think is probably quick. I don't know if maybe mine was a different time.
Okay, let me do. Okay, I got two here. Let's see.
Mine is Robin's is the other one.
No, Robin's is at 9:30.
9:30. Okay.
Okay, so that's the full. But I already got something at 9:15. So what I'll do, I'm gonna move this Zoom code for the day to make a ruling at 1:15 next week. Nobody else has to show up. You folks go out and make a living, take care of yourself. But the judge is just I'm gonna go ahead and reset this matter, and the lawyers will be here, and I'll make a record and put this on the record what I'm ordering the support going forward to be, and the day it starts and all that. But for right now, like I said, I'll take this one under advisement. And Ms. Cusack, I'll see you right. I'll make you cut your lunch hour short by 15 minutes, and Mr. Taylor, you can show up. And if either of the parties want to show up, that's fine, because it's going to be the same Zoom code as today. But I'll make the ruling at 1:15 on the 23rd. Anything else, folks?
Yes, Judge. is the court requiring the state to send a written notice of hearing with the Zoom code, or can we provide that to the parties now?
Okay, well, hey, folks, y'all have the current Zoom. Well, okay, tell you what, let's send another reset, Ms. Taylor, just on the safe
Okay.
side. I'll go ahead and send that out to Ms. Walker, and she can get that out, and you can put it, do a reset order, however you want to do it. I want to dot my i's and cross my t's, okay?
All right, then I will do the reset order for the parties, and get them to sign it. It's already 5 o'clock and I have something to do, but I'll get it to them by the morning.
All right, and
get
just
that
put
done.
the Zoom code in there. Don't put that link in there, because that's obviously been problematic, okay?
No, I don't put the link in. I just put the Zoom code.
All right, good enough.
So, and then if they're not here at 1:15 or however long the judge has, you want to give them at that time, Judge, we're going to proceed and you're just going to give us the ruling.
Correct. Y'all don't have to appear unless you want to appear, but it'll be 1:15 on that date. Mr. Thompson, thank you. Ms. Franklin, thank you. And Ms. Cusack and Ms. Gonzalez-Taylor, thank everybody.
Right. Well, Judge, just one more thing. And then once I get the ruling on the 23rd, then I will finish drafting the order and send it to all of you for signature through DocuSign.
No matter, if y'all not here, the state will circulate the order, all right? All right. Everybody be safe out there. I think the weather's finally gone back to normal, just hot in Texas. So y'all be careful and take care. We're off the record.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.